Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to all my dear students. Today I am taking biology class, and that we are going to study the second chapter, that is biological classification. We have studied the division and we have studied about the kingdom Monera and Protista. We started with the kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista contains all the eukaryotic unicellular organism. So some contains a cell wall and some do not contain a cell wall. Under that, based on their division, we can find four main types of division. That is, first one we studied, that is chrysophytes, which contains diatom and desmides, which is also called as golden algae. Desmide is also called as golden algae. So here diatoms is a very important. They are cosmopolitan in distribution. You can find in fresh water as well as in marine water. They are present in a damp soil also everywhere, and here the diatom wall is embedded with, or a wall material is made up of silica. It contains silica content. So even the algae, the protozoa will die, or sorry, protista will die. The cell wall remains in the soil. It will remain for a long time. So due to the accumulation of these diatoms in a particular area of over a billion years varege adu diatom cell wall store agi it forms a diatomaceous earth. That is very important for the polishing, as well as it is also used for the filtration of oil and syrups. So these chrysophytes are also very important group of protozoans. Okay, and next we'll move to the next topic, that is dinoflagellates. These are usually freshwater, as well as most of them are marine form. You can see different coloration in dinoflagellates. It may be yellow, green, blue, brown, or red color. You can see different colors in dinoflagellates. It may be yellow, green, blue, brown, and or a red color. They may be photosynthetic or non-photosynthetic, or they may be autotrophic or heterotrophic. So you can see this coloration because of the presence of the different types of pigments. So one good example for dinoflagellate is Goniolex. A very good example for dinoflagellate is Goniolex, which here in dinoflagellates it is containing a cell wall. It contains thick cell wall plates around the body of the organism. You can see the thick plate like cell wall content. The cell wall become a plate like structure. So we will study the structure. Usually dinoflagellates look like this. Can see the arrangement of plate like structure on the surface of the body. These are nothing but the thick deposition of the cellulose, and this is a furrow a small depression is seen. This is called as furrow. On the furrow side, the flagella will emerge. Most of them are dinoflagellate are motile and some are non-motile. Motile organism contain a flagella. Here it contain two flagella, one lie longitudinally and one more lie transverse to the furrow. They both emerges from the furrow of the furrow or depression of the body. So one lie longitudinal and one lie transverse to the body of the organism. So this help for the motility. So this is a structure of gonolegs, which is usually a marine form. We can see in marine condition as well as in some of them in fresh water. So some of the dinoflagellates are red dinoflagellates which grow rapidly and forms the ocean red color. Because of the rapid multiplication, the entire ocean will looks like a red color. You have heard about the pink sea, pink lake, red lake, red sea. That is because of the presence of one maybe the presence of algae and other maybe the presence of coral, and sometimes maybe the accumulation of these protozoans will give a particular color to the oceans. And some of the bioluminescent organism will also comes under the dinoflagellate, bioluminescent organism. Bioluminescent organisms also comes under the dinoflagellate. Bioluminescents are nothing but the organism which illuminate the light in night condition. In a daytime it will absorb the light, in night time they illuminate the light. So that type of organism is called as bioluminescent. That process is called as bioluminescence. The organism is called as bioluminescent. So that is also comes under the dinoflagellate. Next, one more important is euglenoid, which usually seen in fresh water condition. Most of the protozoans are aquatic in nature. Few occur in a damp soil. This euglenoid usually freshwater protist member. Here the euglena and they have longitudinal body, euglenoid body, which contain a cell wall and having a flagella for the motility, and they are photosynthetic in nature because of the presence of the pigments, that is chlorophyll A and B. Chlorophyll A and B is present in some of the euglenoid member that help for the photosynthesis. Okay, here the body will looks like this. There are two flagella is present. This is a structure of euglena. So it contains a eukaryotic cell. All the cell organelles are present. All the cell organelles are present inside the body or present inside the living organism. So it contains two flagella, one long and one short flagella with an important structure called eye spot. So this eye spot is present in euglena. This will help to sense the outer environmental condition, so that help for the motility. So next, it contains true nucleus. It contains true nucleus with the plasma membrane, nuclear membrane. With the nuclear membrane, it shows a true nuclear structure, and they contain mitochondria. They contain mitochondria. Since they are photosynthetic, they contain a special structure, that is chloroplast. You can see the presence of chloroplast, and also you can see the Golgi complex or Golgi body, and also you can see the presence of endoplasmic reticulum. You can see the presence of endoplasmic reticulum. These are the different structure. This we'll call it as flagella. This eye spot or stigma, mitochondria, nucleus, true nucleus is present, then chloroplast, endoplasmic reticulum, then Golgi complex, cell wall. These are the different types of organelles present in a particular in a euglena. This is a structure of euglena, and various other organisms also come under this. They almost all the euglenoid members are photosynthetic in nature, so they show specialized structure, they show specialized function, that in the presence of sunlight they undergo photosynthetic reaction or photosynthetic method of nutrition. When there is a lack of sunlight, they act as a heterotrophic organism which engulf a smaller organism. Through this they engulf a small organism when there is a lack of sunlight. Sunlight illadaga they cannot photosynthesize, so at that time they will act as a heterotrophic organism. So this organism is also called as mixotrophs. This also called as mixotrophs. Next comes one more division, that is slime mold. Slime mold. These are the another type of organism which grow as a saprophytic organism. Saprophytic means which grow on a dead and decaying matter. So they grow towards the decaying twig and leaf. If there is a decaying condition in a plant, you can see the presence of these slime molds. Okay, here they grow towards the decaying part of twig and leaf. So they engulf all the inorganic compounds. They absorb or engulf. They eat all the organic compounds present in the dead and decaying matter. So when there is a favorable condition, it produces a well developed body system. In favorable condition, they grow rapidly and form a aggregated structure. There is a favorable condition, they eat up all the organic particle or organic matter present in the dead and decaying matter. And this will lead to the formation of aggregated mass, that will call it as a plasmodium. Aggregated mass of protist which in a favorable condition is called as plasmodium, and this plasmodium outerly covered with the cell wall, and inside that you can see the multinucleated condition. These are nothing but the nucleus. Plural of nucleus is nuclei. So, and this contain protoplast. This is cell wall. So this aggregated mass is called as plasmodium. So when there is a unfavorable condition, this plasmodium will give rise to a fruiting body. It will lead to the formation of fruiting body. Fruiting body is nothing but a special structure formed on the surface of the organism in order to produce the spores. This fruiting body is nothing but the specialized structure formed on the surface of the living organism in order to produce spores. Spores anna produce ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ರೀತಿಯ ಆಕಾರವನ್ನ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅದು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಆ structure ಅನ್ನು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ fruiting body, and that fruiting body consists of spores. It consists spores. Here also it give rise to a fruiting body. At the tip at the tip of the fruiting body you can see the presence of spores. Presence of spores, and these spores having a definite cell wall. It has, or each spore have a definite or well defined cell wall. That is very important, well defined cell, so that these spores can withstand in adverse condition. These spores can withstand in a adverse condition. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ adverse condition ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅಥವಾ difficult condition ಇದ್ದರೆ ಈ spores ಬೇರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, and they are highly resistant to the outer environment. Harsh environment ಇದೆ, high temperature ಅಥವಾ low temperature or any water scarcity ಏನೇ ಬಂದರೂ this spores will withstand, and it can stay for over a long year. ಎಷ್ಟೇ year ಬಂದರೂ it will withstand that adverse condition on the return of favorable condition. When favorable condition comes, means favorable condition for organism is adequate amount of water and temperature, then all the food material, that is a favorable condition for all the living organism. At that time these spores start to germinate and produces a new slime mold. It will give rise to a new slime mold, and that slime mold again forms a structure, aggregated structure, plasmodium. When there is unfavorable condition, again it produces a fruiting body in the spores ಬರ್ತದೆ. Spores, if there is a favorable condition, ಅದು germinate ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೆ that will remain for a long year. Okay, this is important, how the slime mold will work. Then one more last one is protozoans. So protozoans are unicellular, eukaryotic unicellular organism. It may be heterotrophic. All the protozoans may be heterotrophic in condition. So they may lack the outer cell wall. All these are heterotrophic in condition and they lack cell wall. And further division we can see in protozoan members. We can see further divisions, that is amoeboid protozoans, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans, and fourth one is sporozoans. These are the different types of protozoans we are going to study. Amoeboid protozoans, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans, and sporozoans. These are the three different, based on their structure and functioning, these are divided. So next we will study one by one. First one is amoeboid protozoans. These are the protozoa which contains do not contain a cell wall. They are outerly, they are pleuromorphic in nature. They do not have a definite shape because only plasma membrane is present. So when there is an engulf of food, when there is a absorption or food, when adu food eat ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, this will form a pseudopodia like structure. It will form a pseudopodia like structure, so that will engulf the food material. This can be seen in a amoeba. You have studied, you have listened about the structure of amoeba, and you have also studied about the pseudopodia in your lower classes. So this is, you can write in any shape. So this is false leg or the hand like structure produced in amoeba is called as pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means legs or this hand like structure is called as, or any hand like structure will call it as podia, and pseudo means false hand like structure produced in amoeba is called as pseudopodia. Mithyapada. So here it will help to engulf the food material. The pseudopodia help to engulf the food material, and it will go inside go and attach with the lysosome. Lysosome will digest the food material, and later the unwanted material will be removed or moved out of the cells. This is the structure of amoeba. This is nucleus. Here we cannot see the cell wall, so cell membrane. Then lysosome and protoplast. These are the different parts, and the false structure produced to engulf the food material is called as pseudopodia. So this is very important, and also some amoeboid protozoans are causing diseases in human beings. They cause diseases in human beings, that is Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica, which causes amoebic dysentery. Amoebic dysentery is caused by Entamoeba histolytica. Means dysentery means loose motion ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, that is caused by this Entamoeba histolytica. Usually they are present in fresh water form ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. So as this Entamoeba, when contaminated water will be there, that water contains this Entamoeba histolytica. If we drink that water without boiling, it causes amoebic dysentery or other type of diseases. Okay, as I told, even typhoid, all that are present in a contaminated or polluted water ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. When we drink that water without boiling, we may get various type of diseases, cholera, typhoid, and amoebic dysentery. These are all caused by that type of contaminated water. So always, if we are consuming the water from river or ponds, we have to boil that before drinking. Purify ಅಥವಾ boil ಮಾಡಿ ಕುಡಿಬೇಕು. Okay, next flagellated protozoans. Here these flagellated protozoans which contain a flagella on its surface. They contain one or many flagella, and few of them, these are usually parasitic. They are parasitic, and few flagellated protozoans may be of heterotrophic. They grow outside the body. Parasitic means which grow inside. For example for flagellated protozoan is trypanosoma, which causes a disease called sleeping sickness. this trypanosoma, it is a type of flagellated protozoan which causes disease called sleeping sickness. Usually this trypanosoma present in a special type of flies. They are spread by flies. They are usually trypanosoma will transfer from one body to another body. Usually this sleeping sickness is caused in animals as well as human beings. Human beings ಅಲ್ಲಿ sleeping sickness cause ಆಗ್ತದೆ. The main causative agent is trypanosoma, and here this get transferred from one body to another through a fly, and that bite the organism and transfer this trypanosoma. So usually this trypanosoma will grow in blood, lymph and tissue system, subcutaneous tissue, that is below our skin. They usually grow. When their number increases, yavaga adra number increase ಆಗ್ತದೆ, they affect our central nervous system. Central nervous system ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, central nerve backbone ಅಲ್ಲಿ in spinal cord we can see the central nervous system that affect the central nervous system. That when the central nervous system is affected, that mainly causes the destruction in or disturbance in sleeping pattern. They mainly, when they affect the central nervous system, they disturb the sleeping pattern. So the disease is called as sleeping sickness. The disease, that's why we call this disease as a sleeping sickness. At initial stage, mild fever, mild fever and coughing we can see. Later on they lead to the sleeping sickness, which is mainly caused by trypanosoma, the protozoan, flagellated protozoan. ಅದು ಹೇಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ somewhat wavy type ಇರ್ತದೆ, like that of some jellyfish like structure ಇರ್ತದೆ, wavy type ಇರ್ತದೆ, like this. Like this structure will be there with the flagella. Flagella helps for the movement, free movement in a blood stream ಅಲ್ಲಿ free movement ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ help ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. Like this structure, ಯಾವುದು trypanosoma ಅದು structure ಇರ್ತದೆ. So that will cause a main disease called sleeping sickness. Next we'll move to the ciliated protozoans. Here the ciliated protozoans which contain cilia, thousands of cilia on their body. They contain thousands of cilia. Good example for this is Paramecium. Paramecium. Here all over the body you can see thousands of this hair-like structure. This hair-like structure is nothing but cilia. So this is a structure of cilia. This is the structure of Paramecium. Many cilia may be present here, large number of, and it contains a nucleus. With the genetic material, all the cell organelles you can see inside the body, inside the cell. The cell itself is the body of the living organism. So here it form a cavity like structure. This cavity like structure we'll call it as a gullet. Here this cavity like structure we'll call it as a gullet, and here the foreign bodies or the food material will be taken into the body through this gullet. Usually this cilia, the coordinated movement of cilia will help to engulf or move the water into the gullet. Here the coordinate movement of the cilia coordination movement in ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, food material along with the water will move inside the gullet, and here once the food material come inside the gullet, it will go inside the cell. Gullet ಇಂದ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಫುಡ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಲೇಟರ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, that is cell ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, then that is later digested. So gullet is a very important part in a paramecium which help for the engulfing of food material or to get the food material. So ಹೇಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮೌತ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಉಂಟು ಹಾಗೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ gullet which help to store or to capture the food content. So one more important structure is present in euglenoid. Euglenoid alli instead of cell wall, I have told euglena, I have given example euglena. The cell wall material is not cellulose, there proteinaceous material. The cell is made up of a proteinaceous material called pellicle. In euglena, which comes under euglenoid, which contain a cell wall material which is made up of protein called pellicle. And this pellicle will help for the flexible movement of the euglena. Flexible movement ige help ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. outer cell wall material flexible movement ige help ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವುದು? pellicle, which is present on the wall, cell wall. Okay, next we'll move to the we finish with the ciliated protozoa. Example paramecium, which contain a small hair like structure all over the body. Thousands and thousands of cilia may be present, and important structure is there gullet. Due to this movement, a coordinated movement, ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ coordinated movement ಇದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದು ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಸೇರ್ತದೆ. even the pathogenic organism ಬರ್ತದೆ. only the wanted or the food material will be engulfed by the cilia. ಸೀಲಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದು ಫುಡ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತ ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಆಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದು ಒಳಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ cilia help is a very important structure, and also this help for the movement of the organism. movement ಗೆ ಸಹ ಈ cilia help ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. So next we'll move to the sporozoans. It is a type of protozoa which is able to produce the spores, the asexual spores. So here sporozoans are the type of protestant member of protozoa which able to produce the spores. Here the important example is Plasmodium, which cause malaria. Have heard the Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax. These are the protozoan which causes diseases in human beings. So they produce spores, and that spores usually the life cycle, the different life cycle we can see in a Plasmodium vivax body. In a cell you can see different life cycle that you are going to study in later classes or in higher classes. And here in the body, human body, after complete growth, after completing life cycle, they produces the spores, and that spore stage, when the Plasmodium in spore stage, this the Anopheles mosquito will bite and suck the blood. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಅದು ಬಂದು ಬೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಥ್ರೂ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ it transfer the spores. Through that through that mosquito, it spread the spores from one organism to another organism. So our spores next continuous ಆಗಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಮಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಮಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಆ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಕಚ್ಚಿದಾಗ it causes the malaria, which causes a malaria disease called malaria. which is a very effective at the starting stage. The medicine is not identified, so the malaria, because of the malaria so many people died, so many population died because of this diseases. Nowadays it became a curable disease. So this is usually caused by the Plasmodium vivax, which is a protozoan. Next we will move to the one more kingdom, that is fungi. So in protozoan protista members, all the examples or all the types may be asked for 1 marks, and the types may be asked for 2 to 3 marks, and examples may be asked for 1 mark questions. 1 mark question usually examples anna keltare, and types and explanation and definition of pellicle, gullet, these are asked for 1 marks, very important. Next we will move to the next kingdom, that is fungi. All these groups are heterotrophic in nature. All these organism comes under fungi is called is heterotrophic in nature, and they are cosmopolitan in distribution. They are cosmopolitan in distribution, where you can see the fungi in all over the world. In any condition you can see the presence of the fungi. So that type of condition we will call it as cosmopolitan. So before that we can see what is fungi. Okay, we have seen these protista and bacteria we cannot see by our naked eyes. So we have not seen till yet. You peoples did not seen that type of organism, but you have seen these fungi. Most of the fungi are macroscopic in nature except the fungi yeast, which is a unicellular. Yeast is a unicellular fungus which cannot seen by naked eyes, but we can see the aggregated form. Aggregated form alliddadu we can see. So first we can see where we can see the fungi. You have seen, if you keep a bread or a fruits or any food material for a long time, if you keep a bread for a long time, if you keep a bread, this is a bread piece, if you keep it for a long time, what you can see? You can see in an open container. If you keep a bread for a long time, you can see the formation of thin, cottony, white color mass, right? You can observe thin, cottony, white colored mass. On the surface of fruit also, rotten fruit, you can see the presence of a white or green or yellow, orange type powdery type appearance irtade. That is nothing but the fungi. This is thread like structure. Later if you keep it for a long time, 2-3 days extra it rain agutte, you can see the presence of black spots. Black spots form agtade on the surface. On this surface you can see the formation of black spots. So if you observe these black spots under microscope, you can see large number of spores. You can find large number, thousands and millions of spores from a small sample tegidre under microscope observe madidre eshto spores irtade. Even you can see some of the fungi we can eat, right? Some of the fungi will be used in our diets. For example, mushrooms. You have tasted different types of mushrooms. Locally available mushrooms in rainy season. Rainy season alli bekadashtu locally available edible mushroom anna tinnirtive. And also toadstools. Button mushroom, idella kelidiralla, button mushroom and stone mushroom, kallanabe heltaralla, that are all edible mushrooms you have eaten. That all comes under fungi. Till now you were not knowing what is that organism. Now you have found out that is a type of fungi, that stone mushroom or other mushroom. will be seen like this. These are all nothing but the fungi. So toadstools, these are the special type of mushroom which is having a umbrella shaped structure iruttade and red surface. Their umbrella contain red surface and white spots. On the surface you can see the white spots. So these type of mushroom we can see, we can call it as a toad's stool. This type of mushroom you can see in many animated movies, in various TV programs. Adralella ee tara toadstool mushroom anna toristare. If you have doubt, just go for Google search and see what is toadstool. Can get a beautiful structure of mushroom. And also various mushrooms are edible and few mushrooms are causing diseases, and few mushrooms are causing diseases like in wheat rust. Even in some of the leaf you can see mango leaf or any leaf, in Ixora leaf, that is Kepla leaf, you can find a black, on the surface of leaf you can see a black powdery like covering. That is nothing but a mushroom. Even in wheat, the fungi causes wheat rust by Puccinia. It is a type of fungus which causes diseases in wheat called wheat rust. So that will decreases the yield in the plant body. Plant body alli enagutte ee wheat rust banda koodle enagtade, the plant growth kammi agtade. Growth kammi aad koodle that will give less yield. So some of the fungus cause diseases even in some mustard plant. If you see mustard plants or any of your any plant around your surroundings, you can see the white spots irtade. You can find, this is the leaf, you can find a white spots. It may be powdery or any white or brown spots. That is usually caused by some of the fungi as well as bacteria. Bacteria also cause diseases in plant as well as animals. Fungi also cause diseases in plant and animals. Okay, here some of the fungus are very useful. Yeast infection adella hagtadalla, even turikajji, what do you call that ringworm, that is also caused by the ringworm cause agtadalla. Skin disease, it is a type of skin allergy that is caused by a fungus. So some fungus are very useful to produce antibiotics. Some of the fungus useful in the production of antibiotics. Example, penicillium, which produces penicillin, which produces a important antibiotic called penicillin, which is produced by Penicillium fungus. So that is also very important. This penicillin is given for allergic or infection in a body. Allergic infection, allergic adava infection adre body alli usually we take the penicillin injection. That is mainly absorbed by the, it is a type of antibiotic absorbed or produced by a type of fungus called Penicillium. And most of the fungus are also commercially used, industrial purpose. For example, it is not there. I'll give some example. For gel preparation, you have eaten the jellies, right? Different types of jellies, ice creams, even in food. This jelly like material will be absorbed from some of the fungus as well as from some of the algae inda matte fungus inda kelavu fungus inda absorb ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So these are the importance of the fungus. So how they look, we'll see how these fungus look like. Okay, here the fungus are multicellular except yeast. Except yeast, all the fungus are multicellular in nature, cosmopolitan in distribution, and they have definite cell wall cell membrane, cell wall irtade, and all the cell organelles with true nucleus. True nucleus irtade, cell wall irtade, and it contains all the cell organelles, and they are multicellular in structure. From fungi onwards, you can see the multicellular organism. You are going to study about the multicellular organism. Till protist, you have studied about the unicellular organism. From fungi onwards, all the organisms are multicellular in nature. Okay. Next, we'll study the structure. Next, we'll study the structure of fungus. Here, usually the fungus are filamentous. All the cells are either present one above the other, or you can see the tubular or thread-like structure, filamentous structure. You can find filamentous structure. These filamentous structure will be seen, and these filaments are called as, filaments of fungi are called as hyphae. These filaments are called as hyphae, and this hyphae will wind up and form a network like structure, form a mass of hyphae. Hyphae intertwined, it wind and form a network like structure that look like a mass of the hyphae, like this, form this mass of hyphae or intertwined mass of hyphae is called as, intertwined mass of hyphae is called as mycelium. Intertwined mass of hyphae is called as mycelium, or network structure of hyphae is called as mycelium. Very important. These are the two different body structure of the fungus. The thread-like structure, filamentous thread-like structure, tubular structure is called as hyphae. They form a network-like structure. That aggregated network-like structure, we'll call it as mycelium. And this mycelium on favorable condition growth agi innenu unfavorable condition bantu, when there is a unfavorable condition, they start to produce a fruiting body. This umbrella shaped structure torsidalla, this umbrella shaped structure, this is nothing but the fruiting body of the fungus. It is formed from the mycelium. Mycelium alli fruiting body formation ಆಗ್ತದೆ, and this fruiting body, the different types of fruiting bodies we can see depending on the species of the mushroom. Depending on the species of the mushroom, you can see different types of the fruiting body. So this fruiting body which contains large number of spores. It contains large number of spores. So these, before that, usually we have seen how these fungus are stored. Usually these fungus are stored in food materials. Due to the open litter food material, it is attacked by various type of bacteria and fungus. So we keep the food material inside the fridge. That will decrease the growth of the fungus. ಯಾಕೆ ಫ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ ಫುಡ್ ಅನ್ನ? ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತದೆ? Because of the attack of these fungus. So these fungus and bacteria, these bacteria and fungus are present in all over our area, all our surroundings, even in air, even in water, even in our any material, tables, plates, or any of the area. If you consider, you can see the presence of either fungi or bacteria. So there is a chances of attack or spoilage of food by these fungus. In order to decrease their growth, we are keeping that inside the low temperature condition. Low temperature alli iddaga enagutte, that become unfavorable condition to growth of this fungus. So they won't spoil the food. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಫುಡ್ ಅನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಈ ಫಂಗಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಗದಾಗೆ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅ ಅನ್ಫೇವರೇಬಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೀಗ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಸರ್ವೈವ್? ನೋ. ಸೊ same way this fungus and bacteria is not able to multiply in that condition. So we are preserving the food in that condition, so in low temperature condition. So next, this is a fruiting body, and here the hyphae may contains, this tubular hyphae may contain many nucleus. They simply undergo nuclear division. You know, cell divide, a single cell will form a two cell, right? So single, if it is in hyphae, a single cell will produce as a two cells, further it divide. But in some cases what happens, only nuclear division takes place. Enagutte, nuclear division matra agtade. There is no formation of septa. There is no formation of any cross wall ಅಥವಾ ವಾಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಥದೇ ವಾಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಥ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್, ಅಂಥ ಹೈಫೆಗಳನ್ನು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ? ಸೀನೋಸೈಟಿಕ್ ಹೈಫೆ. ಸೀನೋಸೈಟಿಕ್ hyphae. The hyphae without any cross walls or hyphae without any separations, any cross walls, that type of hyphae we'll call it as cenocytic hyphae, and some of the hyphae will show the cross walls. This is called as non-cenocytic hyphae. This type of hyphae we'll call it as non-cenocytic or normal hyphae. We'll call it as hyphae, multicellular hyphae. This condition we'll call it as cenocytic hyphae. So here the fungus is usually reproduced by cell division, usually in this yeast unicellular organism which divide by binary fission, and also you can see a sexual method of reproduction. Most of the fungi undergo a sexual mode of reproduction where they produce large number of different kinds of spores. They produce large number of different kinds of spores, and also you can see the sexual mode of reproduction. The sexual mode of reproduction ನೀವು ಫಂಗೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಬಹುದು. These are the important factors. We are going to study further about the fungus in next class. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.